Alrighty, back here again today. As you can see, I have my new Ruger 1911 or SR 1911 government model. And on the side here, I have picked this up while I was at the store. This is a full-length guide rod for a full size. Basically what this video is going to be about, I'm going to kind of compare to what a stock guide rod, this is a split assembly, but I'm just going to kind of compare the differences and, show the overall product and see what I think. If you don't know much about 1911s, as you can see, it is a split guide rod and it compresses. You only have a little small piece right in there. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this apart and I will show you the components in just a minute. Okay, got everything apart here on the bench. As you can see, I have the full-length guide rod from Wilson Combat out. Will note, I did pay $29.95 for this at the dealer. So something else to note here. I am going to be currently using the factory springs. Okay, so let's look at the guide rods here. So this is what's stock in many 1911s, and this is the full-length guide rod here. There is some full-length guide rods that have a split or a hole for disassembly purposes. This one doesn't have anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead with some quick comparisons here. As you can see, it's going to be hard to pick up. I should get my calipers. Since I've moved into our new house, I've kind of got my stuff all spread around, but it is thicker in a lot of ways, but very nicely machined. I'm putting them up head to head here. Just a little beefier, I think. The Ruger stock one is a little bit more tapered. Oop, focus there. A little bit more tapered, whereas this is more squared off. Next thing is the plugs. So obviously with a solid guide rod, you got to have a hole to accommodate that guide rod going through, which it is a pretty tight fit. I'll say that about the Wilson. There's no texture obviously because you just don't have that because you got to have the hole for it to slide through. But in terms of the Ruger made, very nice quality. I will be keeping these parts on hand. In terms of finish note, it does match the Ruger stainless very well. So in terms of that, I'm not really worried about how it's going to look in the long run. And how it will sit on the barrel. Very well. Nicely machined to it. So, yeah, I mean, this isn't really a big deal, not a huge modification or anything. Now, on the box, Wilson's claiming that it extends recoil spring life, improves cycling and overall operation, extends life of slide to frame fit, can improve barrel to slide fit and accuracy on older military style 1911s, replace your stock spring without pistol modification. So you're really not modifying, you're just changing out a part. So there's that. And I mean, I can believe to a degree extending the recoil spring life because when you have it in the split pieces here, when it's inside the gun, it has a little bit more wiggle back and forth. Obviously it's going to be kept inside the frame, so it won't be like extreme, but in terms of such as this, it has nowhere to go except for naturally down the guide rod. So that's just something to note. So all right, I guess I will go ahead and get this put back together and then I'll kind of just say a few closing remarks about it. All right, I got everything back together here, as you can see. I have the full-length guide rod back in here. Fits very nice, very flush. You can watch it go down. It sits very parallel, not a lot of walking or anything like that. Yeah, it's a little bit recessed, obviously, because you got the hole and the guide rod's sitting back in there. But in terms of looks, it looks nice. You know, one thing to note, it does add a little extra weight up front. So if you're trying to add overall weight to help cut down recoil and muzzle flip and whatnot, that might be something you want to look for. If not, I mean, it's a lot of people like these just because I figured I'd give it a go. So we'll see. What do you guys think about a full-length guide rod? Obviously, they are not necessary. They haven't been part of the 1911 design for a long time. But it is something that can be changed, and a lot of companies do in fact use them as well in their stock offerings. So just, you know, something out there. So, all right. Well, again, let me know what you think. Is this dumb, or do you guys do that? So, all right. But yeah, in terms of, you know, the Wilson Combat full-length guide rod, installation's a breeze. Really easy to slam in there. And in terms of fit and finish, looks great, matches with a stainless 1911. Basically looks like a factory job. So, alrighty. Well, thanks for watching.